Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Tyler. I'm going to try and make this real quick. There was a good and challenging question that was presented to me, so I was willing to take the challenge in order to answer this question. And this was about, should you cut someone off just because of outgrowing that person but has not done you wrong at all? Now, it all depends on the situation. If you are in a relationship or friendship with someone who is been extremely good, faithful, never left you high and dry, and has always been there for you in the good and the bad times, and has always shown himself or herself approved unto you, and this was the same person that did not even tell none of your secrets or personal stuff to nobody else, and all at the same time, you should not cut that person off. If you have outgrown that person in knowledge, or you have gotten to a certain level of knowledge that that person has not even got on, and you know the reason why is because in that situation, it might be teaching you a lesson. Okay, you might have to deal with that particular person, just throwing it out little by little to that person to give him or her something to think about. And you know why? Because some people are not ready for certain knowledge. Some people cannot comprehend certain knowledge. And some people might not be ready for a type of conversation like that. And most of you people have discerned that. And the way to handle that is that you just give little by little to that particular person. If you've read the Bible, and I'm just going to give you an example. Jesus spoke to all of the crowds in parables, but he gave a lot of his disciples a lot of the mysteries to the kingdom of heaven. And he said that the mysteries of the kingdom of God is for you, but it's not for them. It's only for those type of people that comes in parables, is what I mean. Now, my whole entire point is that whenever that you come and you're continuing to grow in knowledge in a particular subject, you might have a piece of the pie that person might not have. And that person might have a piece of the pie that you might not have. And that person might have to give a little bit to you that person might discern that you're not even ready for at all. And this is how it might work with both of you. Now, when it comes to that stage and that area of outgrowing each other, whenever that it comes to knowledge, there are sometimes you just got to humble yourself and be on certain people's level, and you got to know how to give it to that person, if you understand what I am saying. Now, it's just like I said, in this case, you shouldn't. And this situation is teaching you, okay, humble yourself. This is teaching you, even though that person is being good and faithful unto you, you shouldn't leave that person just because you done outgrown that person in knowledge or in a lot of things, but that person is not hindering you at all or nothing like that. And that person is a real good person. But you can always get your higher knowledge from other people who are above you and way much more than you. That doesn't mean that you should leave that person just like that. I think that's dumb. In my point of view, that person ain't hindering you in no type of way. If someone is treating you good and treating you well and treating you like how you supposed to be treated, don't do that. Now, in another scenario, if you're in a relationship or in a friendship with someone who is unfaithful, causing hell, unnecessary arguments, and you have outgrew that person by maturity wise, okay, you are the person like, you want peace. you want rest. You don't want no unnecessary drama. You want it to always be that it should not be no type of hell around, and no type of that person giving you a hindrance of you being peaceful with yourself and creating it on the outside. Now, if that person is being extremely negative, always finding unnecessary drama and creating unnecessary hell, being a hindrance to you in the ways of not wanting you to have peace, not wanting you to have rest, and then always down in your dreams, always down in your goals, all of that, and extremely jealous of that, and just after the fact you done had a talk with that person, because you need to have a mature conversation with that person, and that person does not want to change at all, then in other words, in this case right here, you have the right to cut that person off. It's because that person is hindering you. Hindering you. If a lot of you see what I'm saying. But the first case scenario, that person is not hindering you at all, because that person is faithful. That person, which I forgot to say, is for your goals and not jealous of you or anything like that. But you have outgrown that person in knowledge in areas where that person, you have to be patient and give it in the way that you give that person something to think about. Now, people, I tell you that if you find someone who is a hindrance to you in a lot of ways, to where you can't create your heaven on earth, and that person hates heaven, but that person loves hell, just like I described a moment ago, yeah, you have the right to cut that person off if that person doesn't want to change. You have a right. Don't let nobody sit there and say you ain't got no right to cut that person off. And most Christians will sit there and say, well, you ain't got no right to cut that person off. God said this, God say that. God is the one who decides. God is the one who does that. And I'm sitting here like, these folks don't even be reading their Bible when it was talking about in the book of Samuel, when the creator of the universe cut Saul off just because of disobedience. And they say that God, that the creator of the universe is a person of love. But yeah, the creator of the universe is a person whenever there's disobedience, hindrance, all of that. There's the time to be cut off. And that's the same with you. The creator of the universe ain't gonna get mad at you just because you done cut someone off because they want hell, want to downgrade you and all of that type of stuff, want to be a hindrance from you so that you can be a mature person and the best person that you can be. Now, I'm going to go on ahead and cut this video short. All of you have a great and wonderful day and evening.